pierces me with those eyeballs. You ready to go?
Yes, we are. Let's turn on the video. Okay, you're live.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Village of Ruidoso Workshop Meeting. It is April the 7th, 2026, 8 a.m. in the morning. Want to welcome our new counselors. Good morning, Counselor Brophy. It's good to see you.
Thank you.
Susan, it's good to see you as always. And our Mayor Pro Tem.
Good morning.
It's good to see you. Counselor Hooker made it back, and did you get a new baby or something?
Well, yeah, my grandson's 7 months old. So I got to
7
go
months
see him.
old. Oh, excellent. That's excellent. And Mr. Corey, good to see you. And then our very own new Mr. Beard over here. Twinkle Toes himself, Counselor. Adam Sanchez, we're glad that you're all here. Welcome, everybody. And if you'll stand with me for a moment of silence, we'll do the pledge and a moment of silence first. Pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I salute the flag of the state of New Mexico, the Zia symbol of perfect friendship among united cultures.
All right, thank you, everybody. I should have warned our new DM over there. Our new deputy manager started yesterday. Hito Bravoni, Bravoni, and it's not Italian. So welcome, Heath. This is your council. Just give us a brief, you got into town yesterday and.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Welcome, everybody, this morning. So, yeah, so most of you might remember me from 2024, right? That's when I first met Darren, back during the disasters there. So I've been working with DHSEM. I was the state mitigation officer and state floodplain coordinator for the last 23 months. But prior to that, I was in local government. I was a county commissioner for a couple of terms in Oklahoma. So local government's always been kind of near and dear to my heart. That's where I preferred to be. I just landed at DHSEM because they were the first ones to offer me a job. So quite frankly, but yeah, so I'm happy to be back in local government. I'm excited to be back with a great group of people here. Worked with a good many of you back over the last couple of years, and I'm excited to be here. Thank you.
We're glad to have you. He's battle tested and he's going to be a huge asset. We're looking forward to getting all these projects, equipment moving and engineering done and getting a lot of this work done that we've been waiting on for 1.5 to 2 years. So Ron's pleased. He's happier than just about anybody. Did you get a hold of Jay?
Not yet. I reached out and I'm waiting for a reply back.
Okay. We had a meeting yesterday with an airline company. It went very well. The vice president flew in, so she's in town. She's headed to Hobbs.
She's going to Roswell.
Roswell.
How many seats is it?
30?
I rode one
Yeah.
this weekend.
Oh, really? A jet?
Yeah.
Yep. 2 pilots,
Flight attendant
and a
one
bathroom.
bathroom,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, we'll have a roll call, please, ma'am.
Mayor Crawford.
Here.
Counselor Salas.
Here.
Counselor Letterman. Here. Counselor Brophy.
Here.
Counselor Hooker.
Here.
Counselor Corey.
Here.
Counselor Sanchez. Here. You have a quorum.
Okay, thank you very much. Today's agenda item, and I'll just go over this since we have some new folks here, is there's no decisions being made other than is it consent or regular item. And so we'll go into, first agenda item is the discussion on the update to the 100-year floodplain map. Come on up, guys. And if you haven't noticed, we went ahead and posted it online. We were getting so many requests. It's interactive. We haven't adopted it yet. And as soon as we do, it'll go to FEMA. But this gives a lot of our realtors and people that are wanting to rebuild a chance to take a look. So go right ahead, Mr. Levi.
And Mayor and Council, just real quick, Isabel did email it to the council also.
Yes.
So, perfect.
Thank you, Isabel.
Yeah.
Good morning, Mayor. Good morning, Council. So what this is Cobb Finley's been working on this, and they've taken the information that J.E. Fuller has, and they have expanded the floodplain map and got it more nailed down, or they changed it a little bit, made it more precise, so of what they think is more realistic. And Isabel has been working on it, and she did put it on the website, and Candace is online for any.
We don't have to be online.
So, Levi, what's the impact as far as additional properties?
Go ahead, Isabel.
I'm
So-
sorry, Isabel. I
No, it's
should
okay.
have
Mayor and
directed it to
council,
you.
there are a lot of new floodplains that if this were to be adopted, because it does have to get approval by DHSCM and FEMA, if this were to be adopted, there would be a lot more floodplains that would apply to different people, like the Perk Canyon one. We saw a lot of flooding impacts last year, but it wasn't in the original floodplain map that we released about May last year. So there are a lot.
Do we know how many structures?
I can look at that.
Okay.
Basically, what they've done is, the information was compiled, she put it in a digital form, it's on our ruidosonewmexico.gov. You can pull it up and pull up your address and look at it, so I don't think we've had a chance to actually look at all the structures that are in there. I know, is Eric gonna be here later? He worked all weekend long, he and Q Engineering on looking at structures. I think they inspected 82
82, yep.
structures, and so he might have more input on that.
So, practically speaking, what happens to the people that have already gone in, if anyone has, to rebuild, and now we tell them they're in a floodplain?
So the main floodplains that we're used to that came out with the map last year, they've expanded a little bit because we did see wider borders when we had the flooding last year.
Right.
But most of the new floodplains are in areas like Perk Canyon, Flume Canyon that we weren't expecting at all. So I'm not sure about the Perk Canyon people that had flooding impacts, but most of the areas are areas that didn't really see many flooding impacts. Those are the new additions that we have based on the H&H study.
Okay. So, Mayor, you said we got this on the village website. I presume we're going to do a media campaign.
Yes, we've pushed it out already just because of so many requests that people can look into it. Let them know it's not official, it's
It's a draft one right now.
draft, and that still, people forget the word draft in there. But there's so many people wanting to build, and so we're showing them, if you're in this area, you need to hold up. And so it will be official, but it still could be a month.
Mr. Mayor. And all of this has been compiled by many entities. We've done projects, we've had contractors come in and look at this. It's not just the village saying, well, here it is. Correct?
Counselor Hooker, you're exactly correct. So with J.E. Fuller, both them and Cobb Finley, as well as when Adam was here, or Counselor Sanchez, sorry.
Yeah, you got to get that right.
Yeah, I'm gonna get used to that. But when he was here, they went out and they did high water marks. But some of these areas it has expanded. You know, if you look at the map compared to the previous one, I think this newer one is actually more realistic because there's some areas like, say, up Maple Drive that weren't in the floodplain at all previously on the map, and there's 4 or 5 feet of water flowing through there. I mean, it's pretty serious.
And this is the result of the fire, the loss of vegetation that has changed the topography and all that stuff up there, and that's why we are looking at this, continuing to do it.
Right.
Mayor, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Mayor and council also, and Heath and I, yesterday, we did get a copy of the ordinance on the floodplain. It's going to have to be amended, so Heath's working on that. We'll get with our attorney, and we need to mirror it with our new floodplain and our floodways, so on the map. So we'll be working on that, so.
And Ron, I think I told you, I got a call from a realtor concerned that FEMA hasn't approved the flood maps, and because of that, getting insurance is difficult because they're using the old maps that
I'm going to have,
Council, yeah, if I could speak to that,
You
so.
know, and that's a caveat, a bonus. Heath was the floodplain manager for the state.
Great.
go ahead.
So, yeah, so back in 2024, when all this first happened, we started looking at what FEMA, how quickly FEMA could update their maps. And that was after, we already had J.E. Fuller come in and do some H&H analyses. We worked with USGS to do debris flow modeling and runout modeling. All of that data, we had all of that, and we flew new LiDAR over the entire burn scar area. I was willing to give all of that to FEMA, which they need for their modeling.
Right.
And it was still gonna take them 8 years to develop a floodplain map, because they have so many hoops that they have to jump through. So you, as a local entity, can adopt new maps based on best available data. And FEMA already acknowledged that back in 2024.
And Heath, will the insurers recognize our?
Yes,
adoption?
once you have it fully adopted and we have the ordinance updated to reflect, because your ordinance specifically references which maps that you recognize.
Okay.
So right now, it currently lists all the panels, so now we need to have it reference also this as well.
And given your experience, I'm curious, does FEMA, in your work with them, have they ever challenged flood maps, or do they generally?
No, because these situations are really unique. They don't happen very often, right? Whenever you talk about a hurricane or any other kind of, like in Kerrville where they had all that flooding down there, those are kind of one-off situations that don't historically happen. Because this is going to be a repetitive issue for years, it's necessary to then adopt updated data, so that way you can make sure you're protecting the public, right? That's the whole point of the floodplain mapping, to make people aware that they are exposed to this threat.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
With this new floodplain that we're looking at, is there any houses that have been totally devastated? I mean, that are 51% and more? So what about the buyback? If it's going to take us a month to do that, and it's.
It's not
almost-
going to affect the buyout. The buyout are the ones that are imminent right now, that they'll go in, they're assessing the property, that if it floods out of that area, they'll be taken out. And so it's not a complete program. That's why it's in phase 1 and 2, and we're looking for funding next year. But this is in addition to it. Keep in mind, he just said 8 years. So we hired Cobb Finley, J.E. Fuller a long time ago to get started on this process, and it seems like an eternity. And we get a lot of phone calls from realtors, why hasn't this happened now? Citizens, I want to rebuild back now. And this is what we needed. So the last thing you want is them to rebuild. Us give them a permit, in the middle of the night, they're washed away. And so this is the process you have to go through. Do you have anything to add to that?
Mayor and council, I also will be submitting our floodplain, our new maps, updated maps to FEMA and to the state. So that's required, and we'll be doing that also. But again, we'll be amending the ordinance.
But she was talking about right now in the buyout program, which we don't administer. They're going to properties right now that's obvious with the naked eye. You have stuff on here that it's stretched, areas that have never been on here before, and you can see the 2026, it's all purple. That before was never there. And so that is not saying that it's been flooded out, it's just saying it could be on a 100-year floodplain.
Correct.
So I think it's important to note that all the work that Eric was doing over the weekend, they were started in Upper Canyon and worked their way east down the Rio Ruidoso. They were already identifying properties that were actually in the regulatory floodway, which technically should have never been allowed to be there to begin with. And most of those were significantly damaged.
So next week, we're not approving the flood?
Yes, we are.
We are. Okay. Given, as the mayor indicated, I've gotten realtor calls, I'm sure other counselors have. I would suggest, Heath, perhaps you could offer to meet with the Board of Realtors and, kind of go through. I'm already getting a sense of comfort with your experience, and I think you might allay some fears.
And we'll also have Cobb Finley here. Brad will be here in person to explain.
Yeah,
We
and
have
from what
Candace.
I've heard, as you're aware, Ron, they've been extremely responsive to
Yes.
individuals with questions, so.
And on the buyout, it is voluntary.
Yep.
You don't have to do the, because there's a few people I know that, I just told them, fill out the application, go in, you don't have to sign anything. But at least it gives you an idea of what the valuation is or what, and
It appears to be a significant expansion compared to the 2025.
Oh, no.
So your original maps were 2014, right? That is your current map, is a 2014 map.
Okay.
And things have drastically changed since.
And we had businesses that were mobile home parks
Yep.
that were in the 2014
Yep.
floodplain. They got wiped out
Yep.
this last time, and they kept expanding into that floodplain setting,
Yep.
trailers and whatnot, so. But this is one based off the information, and we had spoken with the FEMA and state representatives before that they recognized J.E. Fuller and Cobb Finley and whatnot. So this should just pass right through. But any other questions? Thank you very much.
Regular.
Yeah, thanks a
Thank you.
lot.
Regular.
Okay, regular item. Discussion on adoption of Resolution 2026-21, a resolution to accept the fiscal year 2025 audit for the year ending June 30th, 2025. Judy, how are you?
I'm doing fine. Good morning, council. Good morning, mayor. This
morning.
is just a resolution that comes to you every year. Our audit has been accepted by the state auditor's office, and we did receive an unmodified opinion, which is the best opinion you can get, and we did not have any findings. So we did send in a waiver letter to the state auditor. So as soon as we got the release letter, our audit became public. So it is already currently on the state auditor's website, and as soon as you approve this resolution, we'll place it on our website.
Excellent.
Good job, Judy.
Very
Yeah.
proud. of
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Of everybody. That says a lot with all the P cards and everything that we have out. That's a great job. Thank you very much. And we do have an
Thank you.
opening, I believe, on the IFC, Internal Finance Committee. Corey's on there, right?
Yes,
And we lost Joe Eby.
Yes.
So if anybody wants to be on there, just holler at me. And what we do is we meet, we have a couple of local business people, banker, whatever that we do, an internal, Judy presents, we go over the numbers, have any questions. Once it's verified and approved by the IFC, then it comes to the council. So we have one opening on that, that'll be filled with one of you guys. Okay, so where do you want this, on the regular?
regular.
Okay. Thank you again, Judy.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, next is discussion on adoption of Resolution 2026-20, a resolution authorizing the execution of delivery of Colonias Infrastructure Project Fund Grant Agreement by and between the New Mexico Finance Authority, NMFA, and the Village of Ruidoso in the amount of $4,080,659.00, evidencing an obligation of the grantee to utilize the grant amount solely for the purpose of financing the costs of designing and constructing 4 destroyed roadways to restore access to neighborhoods and local access points, and solely in the manner described in the grant, providing for the acceptance of the grant amount of $4,080,659.00, certifying that the grant amount, together with other funds available to the grantee, is sufficient to complete the project, approving the form of and other details concerning the grant agreement, ratifying actions heretofore taken, repealing all actions inconsistent with the resolution of authorizing the taking of other actions in connection with the execution and delivery of the grant agreement. That is an example of a Philadelphia lawyer getting a hold of that. So it's very, very, very specific. So go ahead and tell us what all of that means there, Mr. Levi.
Good morning, Mayor. Good morning, Council, or I guess I've already been up here, so I shouldn't be saying good morning, but that is definitely a mouthful of information there. And that was a Colonias grant that we got, an emergency grant for Brady Canyon, Maple, Ponderosa, and Ash Drive. to design and construct the roadways on those 4 roadways up in Ponderosa Heights.
Yeah, thank you, Ron.
Yes,
That's the
thank
first Colonias that we've ever received since I've known.
And Mayor, just for everybody out there listening, so they know, is there a match to this, Levi?
What's that?
Is there a match to this grant?
On that,
Mayor Crawford, Counselor Sanchez, the only, we have some leverage funds there, that 80,000, that's the only thing we have, there's not a match,
Thank you.
so.
Perfect. Okay. Anyone, any questions?
Think you can
Regular
spend all
item
that?
or-
I think you can spend all that?
yes, sir.
Oh, yeah.
A bit of it?
In one deep breath, it's gone. So, and I know we've been working on this for a while. That was really good. Ron did an excellent job on that.
Yeah, thank you, Ron.
You want to know regular consent?
Regular.
Regular. Thank you, sir. Does everybody notice Levi's new haircut?
Well, when you said when he started coming up, I said, well, you're gonna notice, and I thought you were gonna say he looks different.
Yeah, well, he looks all grown up.
Yeah.
So, anyway, number 4, discussion on lease agreement between the Village of Ruidoso and Ruidoso Valley Chamber of Commerce for real property located at 200 Country Club Drive, Ruidoso, New Mexico. Who's speaking on this?
Mayor Crawford, this is a agreement that the council, we spoke with the council at the last meeting, but I have Jared, our attorney. Yvonne, if you want to pin Jared on there, he can talk a little bit about it, and,
So, Ron, I sent, in full disclosure, I'm on the chamber board. I sent the board's building committee the lease last night. And Jared, their initial concerns are the term. I think the initial term's 3 years, and there's concern.
30.
3. Is it 30?
3, you're right.
Yep.
And there's concern that, they're building a building, so they'd like to see that term be extended. As far as how far, I don't know, 10, 15, 30 years. They're also, and I didn't catch it, but one of the members indicated there's language that the landlord assumes ownership or has ownership of the building. I presume that occurs if the lease is terminated or expires. Since the building's sitting on our land, it's ours essentially. Is that correct?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, members of the council, that is correct. I tried to do it in a very comprehensive way. Certainly understand their concerns with the lease term, and we can include some extensions in there if you want.
Okay. And then the other item, and I don't know if you were privy to the prior lease on the other property. It was pretty rudimentary, but the bottom line is the chamber wasn't paying anything. And you're proposing the chamber pays a market rate on the rent, and of course, that's going to be up to the governing body, but as you can imagine, with the flood and fire, the chamber's resources are fairly limited right now as far as ability to pay a lot of money. So one, I would hope, and I know the chamber board would hope, there would be forgiveness of rent payments.
How can you forgive? Would that be a anti-donation clause thing because they're a private entity? If we do it for one, we have to do it all. We can certainly do a reduction to next to nothing, but we'd have to include something, wouldn't we, Jared?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, the concern there is exactly that. It could potentially be deemed an anti-donation clause violation because the chamber's comprised of a group of private businesses, basically. So it would effectively be giving a donation to private companies.
Understood.
And we had it before, and that's what we're finding out, like on the links and other things at the
So
airport.
we've learned after.
Yeah, we've got to, but we could certainly, there's no, what's the rule? I mean, does it have to be fair market?
Fair market is the best practice, just because it's treating the chamber like everybody else.
Okay.
Okay, well, the difference, one difference, and that was another change in the lease. The chamber operates the village's visitor center,
And we pay them.
and the village pays the chamber for the visitor center. So, you know, it's kind of a hybrid. It's both a chamber building plus a visitor center, plus we were talking about providing office space for the Main Street organization. So bottom line, I've suggested to the chamber that they engage an attorney to talk to you about it and kind of go through some of these issues. And don't get us wrong, we're extraordinarily grateful for this. Ron, I really appreciate you getting this teed up so quickly, but there's some items I think need to be worked out.
Okay, so the RMA is a separate entity also that pay, I don't know if they're paying rent to Jamie. I don't see Jamie in here anymore. No, you're not? They're just out of the goodness of their heart?
They donate, I give them an in-kind letter for taxes and stuff.
Okay. RMA is like a Main Street solution for the village that's similar to the chamber. So if do you have anything in your experience working with a hybrid model like that where you have one building that's owned by one entity, but then other, because they work solely for the benefit of the businesses, which is in the village. So maybe we can have them work on a proposal to us, and then we'll just have you review it. And then we do pay in kind because they watch the greeters, and then also Billy the Kid. And are they still helping at the Wingfield House?
Yeah, they have.
Provider.
One-time
So
person.
we're kind of all inbred here a little bit on this. So if we could maybe step back and look at all the different workings on this and see how we can make it happen.
Well, and
In kind can.
In kind should be,
or alternatively, we could pay more for the visitor center. In other words, if we collect 20,000 a year in rent, we could raise
Raise the operation costs for that.
Yes,
That
exactly,
makes sense
exactly.
on that part. And there's a good possibility that I'll be gone for our regular meeting, but on my concern of the 3 years, I was looking at a 30-year lease. I mean, that was the number that came, they forgot the zero is all I thought. But then as far as the fair market value, evaluate that or look into it if we charge them 25% of fair market value
Yeah,
for their
and-
rent. You know, I mean, just so that we do have an equitable charge because it is a big benefit. I know in the park, it was a big benefit
Yeah.
for all our patrons there, so.
And Jared, you did a really good job covering a lot of territory. I think we went from a 1.5-page lease to a 19-page lease. So you've done kudos for your work.
So Mayor, is there a building, there's not a building existing on this property, they're gonna build a building?
no, they're gonna have to build their own building.
And we're looking, Counselor Sanchez, at a metal building. The chamber's starting a fundraising drive. We've got, probably about 300,000 in cash that we can apply. And so they've already started, they've talked to the people on Gavlin and.
So one of the things that I was thinking is, I'm reading through this contract here, is, we got some other buildings that we've leased to, like the Ultimate Society and stuff like that. I think it needs to be, black and white, that any improvements on that building will be, how's that gonna work for the village if?
It's a leasehold improvement, and it will come back to the village at the end of the term of the lease, is what we've been told. But, it could be a 20, 30-year lease with options, for a long time. We just, and what about the, and boy, am I gonna get in trouble here, the women's group at our building over on,
Women's Club. Yeah.
Women's Club, that's a village property?
And it's like $1 a year, if I remember right.
Yeah, so this is, quit scraping, we get in deeper trouble. But these are things, Jared, that we need a little help with that have been this way forever. And I know they don't have any money, but it provides, I think, an essential service for those ladies and men,
And they also give out scholarships.
and they do. So we need to really talk about this.
What I was thinking is, they're doing improvement of real property, right?
Yep.
So that improvement will come back to the village itself as a payment, correct?
Well, eventually, in theory,
Eventually, yeah.
but, it's,
Yeah, like the current building.
yeah.
In mayor and council, they're looking at proposing a 48 by 60 building is what the chamber is looking at, so.
And you said some kind of a mountainous-looking building, chalet type stuff, is that what I heard? from
Yes,
Somewhere?
yes, those are the renderings I've seen is,
So we've got some homework to really work on between now and the next meeting.
And Jared, we can work on it, so.
That sounds great.
Thank you.
Ron, I'll call Deborah after the meeting and make sure either she or Leroy
Okay.
get with you and get an attorney hired to.
Perfect.
Okay.
One other thing, Mayor, Councilor Corey, I remember you recused yourself on an issue there. I would ask, we vote on it and see if you're eligible to vote or not, because I don't see you having any interest or gaining anything on approving this.
Did you send that package out yet? No. We went over the rules about
Okay.
what causes a recusal.
Okay.
And if you have no financial interest, no gain or whatsoever,
Right.
then you're still a representative on this council and whatever, so.
Thank you.
Because
Thank you,
actually,
Council.
you are being a representative of the council.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and we're gonna go over all that for, the old and the new, to go over the rules, because we sometimes do this a long time, and we forget, how to, we just get used to falling into, oh, good. We're gonna have the representative of, the airlines will stop by here in just a few minutes, and we'll give a quick introduction to her.
Great.
So we're gonna have to work on this one, and then we'll bring it back open and do it on regular item.
That'd be the best.
Provided that we get all the information. It may
And-
take them a while to get an attorney.
Well, and Mayor, I was thinking, we've got a special meeting on the 27th.
Yes.
If need be, it could
Move
be
it to then.
moved
Okay.
to that
Okay.
meeting. The chamber's just worried, before they go out and start signing
Sure.
contracts for a building, they want to make sure they've got a lease in
I think
hand.
it should be 30 years.
Okay. All right, so we'll look on that, and if we don't have sufficient information, then we'll move it to the 27th.
Perfect. All right, Jared.
Item number 5, is that where I'm at?
Yeah.
Discussion on task order number 2026-002P-01 with Souter Miller and Associates for professional engineering services on design and construction observation. Construction observation. Make sure you understand that. Of the Meacham Utility relocation in the amount of $118,862.32, including New Mexico GRT. Yes, sir, Levi.
Mayor, Council, so what this is New Mexico Department of Transportation is removing the culvert there that goes across Meacham coming out of the Brady Canyon drainage, and they're putting in a 12 by 8 square box culvert. and our water main is not deep enough and will have to be removed. And this is designed for the bypassing that water line and then putting the new water line over the top of that box. There's going to be enough clearance. I've been working with DOT and with Robert Story with Sauter Miller on the relocation of that water line. It'll be a 12-inch main water line there. And then also part of this task order is changing the sewer line right there to add removal of one manhole, 700 feet of design of sewer line, and then a drop manhole feeding across, and then that'll tie in with the project we already have going on down at Meacham and Suttereth, where we
Lift
have
station.
2 lift stations. So this is an addition. They're gonna keep it gravity fed coming down Meacham, so we won't have an additional lift station, but this is the design for that portion of the project. And we do have a grant that Ron got us during the disaster and emergency grant that this is gonna be paid for out of. So, that's all I have.
So Mayor Levi, are they gonna turn it right there at Deck Road and go down that way? Is that what
They're gonna go, it'll stay along the right of way, and it'll be on the downstream side of the culvert, that they install, the new sewer line will, and then it'll be, under the wing walls is where the sewer line will be. So they're gonna go out further towards Lowe's and then change the elevation to where it's, more mild, and then, it'll be a drop manhole there at the crossing, and then they'll pick it up from there on the other side and take it down to the lift station. And all they had to do to be able to make that work was deepen the proposed design of the lift station that they currently have. Our plan is to try to do all of the sewer work before DOT comes in and does the work. We would like to go ahead and get all the sewer, both the lines up there and the line down at the lift station, all installed, keeping everything out of the river. They're gonna have to do 2 lift stations down at the crossing at where the Rio flows under Meacham to be able to pick up the Sleepy Hollow and the Meacham sewer.
The one coming down from Casablanca and everything?
Yes,
they're
sir.
gonna that's new, isn't it?
So Mayor, I think the first proposed project was just 1 lift station.
Right.
But I think what Levi's saying is, Sleepy Hollow is kind of a flat line anyway. Mm-hmm. And they're gonna have to bring it up to actually make the elevation to drop into the new lift station we're doing. So there'll have to be, kind of like a grinder pump lift station to pump into that from Sleepy.
It'll be a small one coming out of Sleepy Hollow, a real small grinder
Have you seen
pump.
the engineering when we get to look at that?
I have the proposed, the preliminary plans for the project down on Meacham and Suttereth, and that, I've seen the preliminary
Yeah.
plans, and Marty and myself met out there the end of last week on Friday, and went through all of the questions that we had on the preliminary plans. I'm gonna provide that to Robert Story probably today, and go through that with him, because we had a few concerns on the slope stabilization right there at Meacham and Suttereth.
Behind the Allsups, that
Yes, sir,
part
right
slopes?
there.
Mhm.
They had originally proposed to put the lift station over on Sleepy Hollow Drive, but there's not enough space there. We don't have a large enough right of way, so both lift stations will have to be on Meacham on the east side of
Right.
Meacham. So, and then the water line portion of this project, the 12-inch water main, we would like to include that in the DOT project, and then we'll have to write a check to DOT on the cost of that, and we're working through the agreement on that. I did receive cost estimates on that yesterday. The water line portion was roughly around $100,000 was the cost estimate to relocate, because it'll have to be 2 insertion valves to be able to isolate that area and then run a bypass. The sewer line was over $1 million, so working with Ron on that, I don't know that we quite have the money,
Well, there's some expression on Ron's face, he didn't think we did.
So Levi, here in the near future, we can meet out there. I can show you where to isolate that. So you don't have to do the insertion valves.
Sounds good.
It'll keep everybody in water.
What's the time frame on this?
So we would like to start the sewer here, shortly, and then within the next few months, get our portion of the sewer done. But DOT's plan is to come in the first part of next year and to do their part of it.
So how long, with cutting that out, put those isolation valves in there, what's the time frame on water outage? Will you do a bypass or?
Mayor, I don't think they're gonna need to do insertion valves on there. There's a valve at Alonzo Way, and there's a valve at Sleepy Hollow, or Evans, I'm sorry. And I think we can isolate there. It's not gonna keep anybody out of water, but maybe, Thunderbird's fed off of, Brady Canyon, so I think you'll be good there.
Okay, just off of Evans.
We just won't be able to run the interconnect. The interconnect will have to feed backwards this way.
And Mr. Mayor, are we doing this, the village, your crew's gonna do this?
No,
This would be total contract.
Souder Miller will hire.
Yes, sir. So the water line we'd like to include in the DOT project, because it's a lot simpler to have that done, but we would like to get, once the engineering is done, we'd like to put it out to bid on the sewer and get that done before DOT ever comes through, so we're out of their way and everything's installed.
Okay, just go ahead and remind us again why we even started this project. You know, the original lift station, they're behind Allsup's.
Yes, sir. So that portion behind Allsup's was part of the AUI project. It was a Moles and Corbin design. They armored it, and it all got blown out in in 24. Is that correct, Adam?
Yes.
In 24, it got totally wiped out. So that's why this portion of the project started, or.
To move it up and out
lift
of the
station to
river.
move it out of the river. Now, this project, we were fine, good, until DOT wants to put a
And
bigger
they're just trying to
culvert.
straighten out that Brady Canyon fiasco, the way that was all tied in. And it deadheaded kind of in the drainage there underneath Adobe Plaza
Yes, sir.
property.
Yep. And
So that's why all this is being done, is to get that fixed, hopefully correct. And you said it was how big of a box?
12 foot by 8 foot.
8 foot with wing walls on it.
Yes, sir.
So
And
that's a big improvement from what they've had.
yes, sir. They plan on purchasing the property there. I'm sure you're aware where
Oh, yeah,
Adobe
she
Plaza
said what
is,
that price.
and that's part of their proposed to make a big drainage through that area. And
Next year.
Where Adobe Plaza
Where it
was.
was, Because right now at Brady Canyon, it just has that culvert that comes out and drops off in that concrete, and they're talking about putting this 8 by 12.
12 wide and 8 foot deep,
So
sir.
how long is Meacham? How long would Meacham have to be closed?
They don't plan on closing Meacham. They plan on routing traffic and doing a traffic and just moving traffic around.
So
we
Lee,
want- I'm sorry, we want to do the sewer and the water before they do that, so that
Just-
it's one,
The sewer will be before they come through. The water will be included in their project.
right?
And they're wanting to do that next year, first of next year.
Yes, sir.
so Levi, just going back to the original project with Sauter Miller on the sewer, that's still in effect.
Yes, sir.
In that, because we got 2.3 million, I think, for that. So we still good with that in order to get that done?
Yes, sir.
So we should be okay on the funding, because I got the emergency funding for that.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I just had to think there a little bit, so.
It's going to be a mess.
And did I hear right, the water, the 12-inch line's going to be on top of the culvert? Okay.
Yes, sir. I did work with DOT to lower the inlet side of the box to be able to have us enough coverage to be able to put our water line so that if we ever have a leak, it's not under the culvert. We would never be able to work on it, and then we'll have clearance, and that line is over under the sidewalk over there, near Alonzo Way and where Brady turns off of Meacham. It's under the
Do you think
sidewalk.
they'll raise elevation of the box culvert right there, or it's, no?
no,
It's going to
sir.
be the same?
I think it'll be pretty close to the same.
Because Adam, if I remember right, that thing is deep.
Yes, sir, it is deep.
I mean,
but
way down there.
The culvert that crosses is only like a 36-inch culvert. So that's why with those 8 foot, coming up 8 foot, I think it'll be good.
It'll be really good.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay, so obviously we're going to have that on regular,
Yes, sir.
so we can discuss that. I know it needs to be done, but it's a little bit worrisome.
In Mayor and Council, we're going to have representatives from District 2 from the Department of Transportation. They're going to be here to give an update anyway, so they may be here during this
That'll be good.
item, and we can talk to Smelker and some of the others.
And Smelker will be running that one of these days soon. Hopefully, we'll get to see Quintana, the new secretary, and get him in here too. All right. Item number 6, discussion on task order RFP 2026-001P-02 with Souder Miller and Associates for professional engineering services on the design and construction observation of Ponderosa Heights improvement in the amount of $607,754.10, including New Mexico GRT, contingent upon fully executed Colonias Emergency Grant Agreement.
Mayor, Council, so this is part of that, where we received that emergency grant. This is the design and construction observation for both the roadways and the water lines in that in the neighborhood in Ponderosa Heights and Brady, Maple, Ponderosa, and Ash, where we currently have some 2-inch galvanized lines in that neighborhood. So we would like to do the water lines previous to a 6-inch water line to add fire protection as part of that same project, as well as the roadways, and this will be designed with Souder Miller.
Now, this is the Colonias, the first one?
The emergency grant, yes.
And how much was that for?
$4
million,
4,080,000.
Okay.
I could spend it quick. No.
He gets it, it's gone. So,
And
but
if
great
you could-
job, Ron.
If you could list the streets that you're doing
Yes, sir, it'll
on
be,
there,
okay.
well, but
On the-
for next week on the agenda and all
Okay.
that stuff, so. Because I was gonna ask, Davis Drive isn't included in that, right?
Not on this project, no, sir.
Okay.
Okay. All right, thank you very much. Item number 7, a discussion on proposal from Lenco Electric Company, Inc. for the Eagle Creek Sports Complex lighting project, adding new LED lights to fields A, B, and C, utilizing New Mexico GSD, General Services Department statewide price agreement number 40-5-24-3-74 in the amount of $1,057,078.80, including New Mexico GRT. Yes, sir.
Good morning, Mayor and Council.
Morning.
So this is going to be adding Musco LED lighting to Eagle Creek. So it'll be updating the old lighting that we have out there to LED lighting, which is much more efficient. It's also will light those fields a lot better. This is paid for by grant through, it is the New Mexico Quality of Life Grant. And so it's to improve quality of life and recreation opportunities. And so these next two are both paid for through that grant.
Go ahead.
So as my colleague Rifle will often ask about correspondence, I will again say this grant was procured for that specific project and it can't be used for anything else.
Correct. It can only be used for that specific project and these items in that specific project.
And remind us again, they are going to look at using the existing wiring or change it?
So the goal is to use the existing wiring. In this price is to change it. We went ahead and priced it to change it. The hope is we are able to use the existing wire, but I didn't want to change order up. I wanted to change order down. So, and the grant covers the full cost. So we're going to try to reuse the same conduit wiring, but if we can't, that's included in this.
What's the timing, Matthew?
We will be doing this. It'll take about 8 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks, and we're going to be doing it in September and October.
We weren't sure we were going to get an extension on this.
Correct.
But this is when we did get an extension. Remember, we were having issues with the baseball fields and all that.
Yeah, so we decided, we got that extension. Thank you, Ron, for getting that for us. And we were able to do that. And then we decided to do September and October because those are kind of the lowest times for those fields. It's right before Tom takes back over. And it's also, we will have to cancel a couple tournaments later in the season, but it won't affect like Little League or our local tournament. It's our local adult leagues, so.
Matt, how old is the wiring that you're trying to currently reuse there?
40 years old.
No, they redid it,
Oh, they did?
yeah, they redid it, I think, 8 years ago. I think it's like 8 or 10 years old is
Main
what.
panels, breakers,
So
wire,
we'll,
everything?
the panels, the breakers, all that will be replaced.
Okay.
That's all replaced. Just the wire in the ground is all we're looking at.
Plus, they're
salvaging.
going to tie in the gate.
Yes, yeah.
We have an issue with that gate. It's on solar and it's always too weak. So we're going to go ahead and fix that for good.
Yes.
So,
I have a,
So is it,
no, go ahead.
would it behoove us to update the wiring while we're doing this big project anyway? If that wiring is 20-plus years old?
They're going to evaluate it and look and see what the quality of the wiring is when the electricians are when they're in there. If they think they want to replace it, they will. they believe that the wiring is going to be in really good condition, and that wiring can last a long time, so there's really no need for it. But, and because the fear is it could add costs if they run into issues like rock or trying to get new conduit in or things like that. So if we can keep the wiring, it eliminates all those what-ifs.
I would just hate to see a big infrastructure improvement like that happen and then have issues later, especially with subterraneous wiring.
Yeah, it's definitely something on our electrician's radar if they detect any issue at all, we're gonna replace it. But if it's in really
They
good
have a
condition.
pretty good warranty on this.
They do, so these lights have a 50-year warranty on them, and they're off-site monitored also, so like, I had these lights when I was in Lubbock, and there were times that I would get a phone call from this company that says, not Lenco, the Musco company, that says, hey, you have a light ballast out on this field, we'll be there in a week to fix it. And we never knew we even had a light out. Their monitoring software saw it and recognized it and took care of it before we even realized it, so. These are the same lights that are on the baseball field here.
So when we get ready to do this, you might have this company come in and give an evaluation for Councilor Brophy and the rest of us on what they feel like that, the wiring is like. Is it 8 years old, is it 20, or what is it?
Yeah. Well, yes, sir.
All right, very good. Regular, what? Oh, yes, go ahead.
Thank you. So has Tom is he working on the fields right now?
He is working on them. As of Friday, when I saw him, he had not aerated them or seeded yet. We do have water going onto them, and we showed him how to manually operate the water system so he can put the water on that he believes is needed for his rehabilitation of those fields. But I have not seen progress. He did last week get an aerator in, so I'm hoping this week he's
I don't
working on
understand.
those.
So those are our fields, so wouldn't we say this needs to be done? I mean, we need to do it to this spec, not what Tom believes.
Per the contract, it has to be returned to us in the condition it was when he took over.
And it says that he can put in seating or
Yeah.
whatever.
It doesn't say how he has to get it returned to that condition. It's just returned to that condition of if it was when we turned it over.
By May 1st.
By May 1st. Yes, ma'am.
Do we document that with photographs, Matt?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
So he's emptied out his holding tank,
Yes.
water onto the ground, and then he wanted a different aerator. He didn't like our tines. So
Yes.
he's gonna aerate it and then plant.
Yes, sir. That's the plan.
Okay, we probably should call him and put some giddy up on this.
Yeah, because here it is, next week is the middle of the month.
I agree.
Okay. Regular?
Yep.
Yep, okay. Item number 8, discussion and proposal from Mammoth Sports Construction for the installation of artificial turf infield at the Eagle Creek Sports Complex on Field A, B, and C, utilizing Equalis Group Publicity Procured Master Agreement Contract, number COG-21388A, in the amount of $1,290,000, including New Mexico GRT.
Yes, sir, Mayor and Council, this is for the turf out at the Eagle Creek Sports Complex. So this will be putting new artificial turf on the infields only, so the dirt area only, on fields A, B, and C. And so this includes the turf, drainage system that goes under the turf, as well as turf maintenance equipment. And so that's all included in this. We're doing the infields only because Tom, as you know, does drive on the outfields or use the outfields for other activities during the wintertime and stuff. And so the artificial turf would not hold up to that. And so we're doing infields only for the area he doesn't use. A big purpose of this is it cuts down on maintenance for our staff. And it also makes a better field of play for those playing on it. As well as when we have these tournaments. And of course, we know we have our tournaments throughout the summer, which is also our rainy season. Currently, if a tournament gets rained on, it takes about 3 hours to get that tournament from when it stops raining to back in play. With turf infields, it will take us, I would say, 30 minutes to an hour max to be able to get that play restarted.
So I'm confused. What is he reseeding right now?
For the outfields, he'll be reseeding the outfields of A and B field.
Okay, but not the infield.
No, the infields out there are all dirt infields. So
Mayor.
they're all clay.
Matt, so how are we, with that turf out there, how are we going to get people, how are we going to monitor that for people for no drinks, no food?
They have food.
Yeah, so, I mean, they'll, just not on the infield, yes. And so that will be a part of our new, we'll have to rewrite our lease agreement for when we lease out those fields or rent out those fields. That will be
Just a contractual stipulation.
responsibility of the party using the field.
Because Matt, the other day, we had a meeting with the schools, and they're doing artificial turf for Gavilan. And there's, if you put food or drinks on that field, it ruins the field. It disintegrates the artificial turf. And so they're going to have monitors so that the fields keep.
I thought the dogs could pee on this.
No, this is a different type of turf.
What are we doing?
I mean, they can, it won't
I mean, I
cause
thought
major
the
harm
stuff
to
was
it.
damn near indestructible.
It's so the
20 year
thing
turf.
with food and especially like sunflower seeds is because it gets ground into the turf, and the sunflower seeds are a very abrasive material, and so they'll tear up those the turf if there's a lot of them on there and constantly keep stepping on them and rubbing them in. You know, if it's limited, I've dealt with a lot of turf, and I've never seen that issue. I think the turf companies say it because it could cause a possible issue. I've never seen it in my.
Well, this
in my
is
career.
20-year stuff, isn't it?
It is, yes, sir.
But
So, I
I
mean,
think what Counselor Letterman's saying gives them an out on the warranty because they can blame it on sunflower
Well, we sat in that
seeds.
meeting, and that's what everybody said.
And like I said, there is the possibility of that. But I mean, it's a similar thing, the possibility of salt damaging asphalt road. It can.
happens.
Yeah, it can do it. But the thing with like sunflower seeds or for food on there is it will be a contractual obligation of whoever leases that facility. And then also we do have staff that work those tournaments. And we always have staff out there, and that will be something of theirs also, is to monitor that and to notify the tournament director, hey, over on B field, you have somebody with sunflower seeds, you need to go get them off there.
Okay.
So would that be included in the 8-year maintenance plan
Yes, sir.
that's on the contract?
Yes, sir. That 8-year maintenance plan, they'll come out once a year for 8 years and do a full refresh on the turf. So they scrub it, they clean it, they brush it, they put new pellets down if needed, all that stuff.
So what equipment do we have like for pine needles and debris and?
So currently we have, our Ventracs have vacuums, and so we can use those. But with this contract, we actually get the turf maintenance agreement, or equipment.
Okay.
And so that's part of this contract.
So Counselor Letterman, you brought up Gavilan. It looks like they're putting some serious money into
Yes.
that field. Are the schools doing all of that?
Yes.
Insurance paid for it.
It's gonna be turfed all the way out,
Yes, it'd be a full turf field.
whole field, infield and outfield.
When do they think it's gonna be ready?
Not for this year.
Yeah, it'll be next season, or
Where are they
next season.
playing now?
I think
The Downs, All-American.
Was that meeting the one that we've been
The
trying to
schools.
get
Yes,
scheduled?
uh-huh.
Okay,
It
good,
was a very good meeting.
good.
Okay, any other questions?
If I may, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, sir.
As he's here, just sidebar to this, we were approached by a pickleball club. So if you could maybe, via with the manager, if it's okay, and the mayor next, at the meeting, be able to answer to what their rules and regs look like as far as use of the pickleball courts, any monies, and where it goes.
I will. I actually have a meeting with them at 2:00 today, so with their president, but I can
Okay.
I can answer those.
So if they come and present to us or at the public input, then afterwards, we would be able to say, okay, well, here's the rest of the story.
For sure. Because we currently have no formal agreement with them on exclusivity.
They just make their own.
Yeah, they play during open play hours. And the meeting today has addressed some of the issues of not letting other members of the public play during those hours.
Okay.
Because you can't.
Yes.
Well, and it's so busy, sometimes you can't get on. And I understand that we need more pickleball courts, and they've raised 100, and
100 and some change for sure.
Judy may remember how much they've raised, but they've raised quite a bit of money, 80 to 100,000.
Yeah, it was,
Well, I think that was the belief, what I understood it was, is that they have exclusive to that court, or those courts from a certain time, let's say 9 to noon. And that if you drive up and you're driving through and say, oh, I want to go play pickleball, and you go over there, you can put your paddles in line, but you have to pay them to be able to do that.
No,
They have tournaments that they rent the place
when they rent
for.
them, they have exclusive use, but during normal
Monday
daily
through
play.
Friday,
Monday
9
through
to
Friday, they do
Okay.
not.
Well, then that's-
Well, but it sounds like, Matt, you're gonna be able to hash some of this stuff out with them.
That's the plan for the meeting today. We go through this about once a quarter and remind them that they don't have exclusive use, and then it gets better, and then slowly through the next
We put a
few
big
months,
trunk
they-
out there where they keep additional equipment
Yes, and
that they leave there.
and I'm looking at some signage too to put on the outside of that, that has just the pickleball court rules on it. In general, we need to update that sign, but it'll also have on there that,
And-
free play from,
And in their defense, they've made improvements out there. I think
They have.
The screen
Yeah.
and stuff, so.
Matthew,
Hopefully we'll find a happy meeting.
where are you gonna have that meeting? I'm gonna have
he'll
Heath
be
here.
at the Parks and Rec
I'm gonna
office.
have Heath, I have a meeting with DFA, but I'll have Heath also be there, and it's gonna be Wolfgang, isn't it? Is he the one you're meeting with?
No, it's, that's what Blake,
Is it Jim?
Jim Richardson.
Okay.
He's been there a while. Okay. All right, now we'll go over yeah, I think so.
Yes.
And then, do we go over the regular agenda item too? I know, but we need to, because some of this stuff, this meeting will be the 16th instead of it's going to be the Thursday. So we'll have the regular ideas.
What?
This right here, the meeting, this is the meeting.
Oh, we're not meeting next Tuesday?
No, it'll be Thursday to do the organizational,
Okay.
all the different committees, elect the mayor pro tem, confirmation of the manager, the clerk, the chief of police, and the rest of them. So while we're here, we have Jennifer Bernstein, or is it Stein? Oh, Stein, okay, I thought it was like, is it Frankenstein or is it Frankenstein? She goes by JB, she's with Contour Air, and while she's still here in town, you're on your way to Roswell, I know. Thank you for stopping by.
Absolutely.
But we've been working with the RAISE grant, the Rural Area Service Agreement, that we were able to get a grant that we're working on, and we've been working with Ben, the president, and you're the vice president. And so welcome, this is the council, and so she went out and looked at our airport yesterday and thinks that we can make everything work, so.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. Happy to answer any questions. Like you said, JB from Contour Airlines. I'm the Vice President of Safety and Security, but I can answer almost any other question that you may have about Contour Airlines. We're extremely excited about the opportunity to come fly into Ruidoso. I got to have an amazing tour yesterday, and what a beautiful town you have, and I think it's going to be a great partnership, so.
Excellent, thank you.
What type of aircraft are you operating?
So we have two options, but the Embraer 145 series is likely what we would fly out here. It's a 30-seat jet, multi-engine, two-engine jet. It has, utilizes 2 pilots and 1 flight attendant.
Okay.
And it's actually, the aircraft is rated to be 50 seats, but we've reconfigured it to be 30 seats, so it's quite a bit more comfortable.
It's roomier. And I'm kind of confused on how TSA works. So say you fly into Denver, your passengers haven't been vetted.
Sure.
So
can
do
walk
you
you through
fly into a terminal, or you off
No,
on
so
this?
Denver enables us to fly what's considered non-sterile. So we would still have our own screening here, but we can actually
Do it
conduct the
yourselves?
screening. Yes, it's not considered full TSA, but it meets the TSA requirements. And so what that means is we fly into a part of the airport, we actually fly right outside of the C terminals. There's a number of other airlines that do this as well. And it's ground deplaning, like we would do ground boarding here.
Right.
And they hop right onto a bus. We take their bags for them as well. Those go on the bus in addition, and then the bus takes them outside of security. If you were to check a bag with us, let's say you were going from here to Japan, we can check that bag all the way through for you. So you don't have to reclaim it, and we can transfer that for you.
Regardless of the airline?
Correct.
Wow.
So for interline partners, I should say, which is United, American, JetBlue, Alaska, and Delta now. So United's the big carrier, of course, out of Denver, so we would expect to see most of those go through there. And we can just put those right on a transfer belt. They go through the normal TSA process in Denver. So when the passengers exit the bus, they're on the outside of security as if they had just gotten there. They're most likely already checked in with that next airline on their mobile app, and they just go right through TSA there.
Okay. I was telling the mayor, I flew one of those aircraft Sunday night from Rapid City to Denver, and they chose the bigger configuration. The seats were uncomfortable, but and then, but we went out to a gate, but I noticed they had folding stairs on the door. So, but you will be using the stairs.
We actually utilize a ramp. It's just more comfortable for our passengers. We'll have a lot of passengers that may have special needs as well. And it's just more comfortable. It's less likely for any type of injuries. It's great if you do have a small rollerboard bag with you. So we utilize a ramp that comes up to the
So what's the capacity for overhead storage?
The overhead storage is really a backpack
Okay.
size. So if you have a
So
rollerboard.
you'll try to check as much as
That's
you
right.
can.
So, of course, the large check bags is typical, but we will also gate check or valet check any of what I would consider my normal carry-on bag. That would be gate checked, and you would get it right back as soon as you get off the airplane in Denver. You get it right back, you take it with you on the bus, so you're not parted from it very long.
Yeah.
Your check bag would go under a secure area in the bus, because you're not allowed to have access to that until you're outside of security as normal.
So I know it's early days. Any idea of scheduling?
We talked about that a little bit. It's really up to what the community would like. We're pretty flexible on that. What typically Ben recommends is a schedule that would enable most of your community to reach the transfer, connections out of Denver. So typically, let's say just did this in another community to Dallas, and we typically would shoot for around 8 a.m. timeframe, and then come back around 5 p.m.
4 days a
just
week.
so they can connect.
Okay.
But we can tweak that as the community sees fit.
And would you leave the aircraft overnight?
Likely, we would leave the aircraft overnight here, yes.
Okay. And then the other question I had, years ago, I was involved in a group that was trying to bring American Airlines, American Eagle into here, and of course, ultimately, they ended up in Roswell, but one of the issues at that time, and I don't know if it's still an issue, is because of our altitude and temperature fluctuations, we were told that there may be limitations on flying like golf clubs and ski equipment. Are you familiar with that?
I'm familiar, we should not have that issue with the Embraer 135. The American Eagle, in some cases, they'll fly the Embraer 175, which is a larger aircraft, longer range, heavier. And because the Embraer is a bit smaller and shorter, it has better takeoff and landing performance.
Okay.
And they've even got it set up, because we're looking to get this on the agenda, we're looking at rental line items right now on the contract. Okay, you've already sent it back to Ben, excellent. So we've already had Jared look at it and those guys.
Good.
And then we'll bring it to the council on this, so hopefully But like Xterra and Ironman, that they can ship their bikes and all that stuff too, so.
We do that in many other locations as well. We have a couple other ski towns, and we take those large items routinely.
So, and they will provide some equipment here for it. They were talking yesterday, I know with Lee, about a de-icer, what that would look like, and, because there may be sometimes in the winter that we have that.
We would also utilize, I don't know that we talked about it yesterday, but it's easy to get as a belt loader. And we don't have to have it, but for those larger items, it just makes more sense, especially if you ever get wheelchairs and things of that nature. But skis, hunting, rifles, bags, things like that, we carry all of it.
And then we talked about the future, because we've got applications that we're working with the FAA on a new terminal.
Right.
That we could have full sterile TSA there, that would be paid for by the TSA, and, so those are things growing.
If they're at operation.
Yeah, but they were talking about, that they could hire them, what was that again?
You can actually, part of that process is you can request to be able to do contract employees from TSA. So they could either be TSA employees, or you could say, hey, I'd actually like to utilize this other program. I believe it's called RPP. I'd have to look that back up. But it's essentially a partnership program. And actually, if you go to Roswell, you'll notice the TSA agents have more of a gray shirt. Those are contract employees.
Yeah, those are, yeah,
And so it's very typical.
they do training there.
And they have lesser, slightly easier hiring standards and procedures if you go through that same training. But it also, I think, would help with any future shutdown issues.
Do we have gate space in the current facility?
I don't know what you mean by gate space.
We could make
Where you
the
check
current
in.
facility
Oh,
work, yes.
So you're talking about in the terminal like you were talking about yesterday?
Yes,
We may have to make some modifications. They were talking about some equipment that X-rays, whatever, they've got shorter ones, longer ones, but that we could do. They've got ticketing and everything. We got room for that. So she was out there taking a look at all those options. And then some additional growth options, whereas you come in the left, that we could actually put a window that goes out into the shop and build a building in the shop. It has storage, in case your bags are shipped in ahead of you, that maybe has a pilot's lounge or something like that. The pilots would stay overnight. They'll work in agreement either with Elegante, Elevator, whomever, to stay overnight. And so there's a lot of these things that they're looking at. We suggested they hire the employees to actually do all the things that need to be, and then work together on marketing. They have a marketing team. We're going to work with our team tourism in the state, and then we're in on this with Jane and Bob at State Aviation. So everybody's really pushing for this to be a long-term success.
but to answer your question, the current facility will work just fine for our operation. What we would do is we wouldn't even start screening until we're ready to board. You go through screening, you go right on the airplane.
Fantastic. Well, this is exciting.
Yeah.
Yes,
Looking
exciting.
forward to it.
Exciting.
Well, thank you for coming in.
Yes, thank
And
you.
enjoy
Nice
your
to
trip
meet
to
you.
Roswell.
Yeah, I wish I could stay here, I tell you that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you
Thank
very
you for
much.
coming
Thank
in.
you, Eddie, for
Meeting
calling
you.
her. So we'll have the organizational structure, discussion and possible action on election of Mayor Pro Tem. Number 2, confirmation of appointed officials, village manager, village clerk, chief of police, treasurer, and emergency manager. Number 3, confirmation of appointed boards and commissions. And what I want to do is, we have 15 or 16 boards. Let's just read the names off real quick and do a mass approval of those, if y'all are okay with that. And then we'll adopt, we'll have a resolution 2026-19, resolution adopting rules and procedures. This is a reminder to the ones that have been here for a while, and then an education for the new guys. So you understand, we're not strictly Robert's rules, but we do follow those. And then how we are able to have discussion in limited terms and different things, what a quasi judicial is and all those other things, so that we're better prepared. Then we'll have consent regular items. Then we'll have approval of certificate of destruction. That's just records and everything that's already been put on microfiche and that we can get rid of legally. Discussion on award of RFP 2026-07P, Property Assessment Consulted Services Award to, what is this? Is this?
Mayor and council, this is the RFP we did on the property assessment.
Oh, you talking about
services.
Q?
Right now, it's just, they're
yeah,
gonna rank
'cause
and rate
it's-
them. They're gonna rank and rate them today.
They're gonna what?
They're gonna rank and rate the RFP today, so, and then we'll have a vendor to recommend to the council
On,
on the property assessments that we're doing on
like
the
what we
clean.
were doing with Q?
Yes.
Engineering, because they were under the 60,000 threshold. And those are things that you'll learn that the council set up a while back, that the manager has the ability to do 60,000 and under. So this is a contract that we issued so we can help with the buyout program to get it done, or the clean and lean, which will be coming for those that don't take advantage of this, just to help move it on. It goes along with what we started off with Cobb Finley before we got the grant through the Council of Government, the Eastern New Mexico Economic Development Corporation. Presentation of new employees promotion transfers. Item number 2, presentation of employees of the Department of the Quarter. Item number 3, New Mexico Department of Transportation District 2 project update. Is Cisco going to do that or what?
Mayor and
Maybe
council,
Smelker?
I think it's gonna be Michael Smelker and one of the other assistant district engineer, so.
Okay. Update on unit Kinetic Village-wide fiber project. Aaron Morris, director. He's the new guy. Johnny Montoya is no longer with them, but we've had some issues. Probably you've gotten phone calls too, so we've reached out to them. They've been getting those.
That
fixed.
Levi?
I thought
That's
that
your
was your
phone?
phone, man. Boards and commission appointments. Will discussion and possible action on appointment of Joseph Eby.
Oh, we're taking all of that off. Remember?
Oh, yeah, we're including him in. Yeah, this whole section's gone.
Yet. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, we'll include Joe Eby on the P and Z.
Okay.
And then we'll just do, he wanted to be on P and Z. And item number 1, we'll have the village manager's report. Update on the Boys and Girls Clubs of Chavez and Lincoln County. Rick will be here. So if you have any questions on that. Presentation of water conservation and rain harvesting from Marty Howe, President, Souter Miller Associates.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that we've talked about before, years ago, and I know when I was gone, I heard Scott Maynard brought it up again.
Well, and I did contact Scott and said, hey, we're going to have a presentation, but he's not going to be here.
Sucker.
So I did reach out to him to give him a chance to be here to listen.
Okay, excellent. Then we'll have reports from municipal officials. That's just where you can give your 2 cents on whatever.
On
Yes,
that
sir.
note, I didn't know about the change of the meeting a while back, actually, back in November. So this coming week, it's our date anniversary. And Shipping booked us on the 15th somewhere. And I don't know if I'll have reception or not, knowing her. So, so that's why I'll miss that meeting. But I do want to bring up that I attended the annual landfill, Green Tree, and Otero County Solid Waste. They meet once a year as a joint to go over landfill issues. The rate is going to be raised up $10 per ton. That starts, she thought July 1. I had to double check that. So there's costs going up on the landfill
So
fees.
it's only $10.
$10 per.
No.
Oh, this
That's
is
a
something
different charge.
This is just for
Addition.
at the landfill.
That's why I think he went up to $24 because he knew this was coming.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you guys being the brilliant individuals you are, you've approved the green energy conversion plant.
Yes.
And we're going to make money instead of spend money. So it's
And
going
that
to be
would
great.
reduce a lot of
Yeah.
what's being, I mean, I got numbers here if we want to go over them. I mean, last year, let's see, Ruidoso, the actual last year, we took 10,616 tons of trash.
Trash.
That doesn't include the flood debris. That's a different report over there. So, and it costed us close to $200,000.
So everything's going up. So Marty Howe will be here to go over the water, reports from municipal officials, no public hearing scheduled. Regular items, discussion and possible action on recommendation from P and Z Committee on vacating of East vacation of easements, EV 2026-2, with the pending replat of properties located at 118 Olympia Road, 120 Olympia Road, 122 Olympia Road of the Alto Crest subdivision, Ruidoso, New Mexico. Item number 2, discussion and possible action on recommendation from Planning and Zoning Committee on vacation of easements with the pending replat of properties located at 110 Tennis Court, Tract A, Block 2, 111 Tennis Court Tract Block 2, and 106 Scenic Drive, Lot 4A, Block 2 of the Juniper Hill subdivision. Discussion on agreement between the Village of Ruidoso for property assessment consulting services award, and then they'll have that today, you say?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll have that on there. And then we'll have closed session. We'll go over a few details. We have updates. So this is all about limited personnel matters, pending litigation, all that kind of stuff that we'll set through. And then if there's nothing else, then we will come back. We don't have to. We found out we don't have to come back in and adjourn, but I still think it's more reasonable to come back and we adjourn.
That would be good.
So if you have anything you want to put on, we need to get it known pretty quick.
And the meeting will be at 1?
On Thursday.
On
Thursday, yeah.
1 PM, correct.
Yeah, a lot of this had to do with the new rule that was instituted, thank you, tooted? Did you say tooted? From the legislators 16 days after the election, then you acknowledge, so that's why we've moved it from Tuesday to Thursday.
Okay.
Either that or we were gonna have a meeting Tuesday and a meeting Thursday.
It's just the state trying to push us municipalities that keep our regular
Yeah, they're
to
punishing
go and,
us.
yeah, they are. I mean, basically, that's what it is.
And we've been complaining, but, they keep raising the expenses, and that may be something that we cover when we've got it all down on just how much it's costing us to do our own elections. If they can't force us to do it, they're gonna bill us into it. And so we're just gonna do the old squill like a pig under a gate. And the whole point is we like to have our local elections highlighted, whether it's like our GEO bond, which thank goodness passed heavily.
Yes.
And so we've got a lot of work to do in the community, and it's getting ready to happen. I mean, we've got stuff going, and we're very happy that Heath is here with his background in education. Can you imagine, and this was always a worry, I know Ron was worried about it, he just wouldn't say anything, trying to learn somebody up, get them up to speed on all of this, and so we're thankful that you're here, Heath.
Yes.
And looking forward to meeting your wife. And anyway, so thank you very much. That concludes the meeting for today. This meeting is adjourned.
Good job, Mayor.
Real quick,
You want to do it? Okay. Yeah, and nobody's asked. I've got Greg on there. Hooker's taking over the JUB. I'm going to have Adam be back up on that. And then I was going